Okay.
I think it's now on. Can you all hear me okay? By the way, before we start, by the way, I hope you all can hear me pretty well. I am doing an episode review video now too. By the way, I'm gonna see if I'm live first, just before we start the video. Here we are. Are we live, everyone? I am doing this review, by the way. Let me check to see. Can you all hear me okay? I'm gonna check if I'm live, by the way. So let me just double check here. Alright, let's see if I can hear myself. And yep, we're alive. So hey guys, Xavier tries Video Rush here. Back again with another live stream, by the way. Today, in this live stream, I'm going to be reviewing all the episodes from Danny Phantom Part 1, and I am going to be doing Season 1 for this episode, by the way. So anyways, let's get right into the video. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Anyways, the first episode we have is, the first episode we have is Mystery Meat, which was actually when Danny got his powers, by the way. And his friends were by his side was Tucker Foley, a meat lover, and Sam Manson, a goth girl, by the way, which it's pretty hard to announce. I do like it how it says all new and terrifying meat vision, by the way. It was pretty cool to see Danny get his powers in the first episode, by the way. He had a hard time controlling them, by the way. He accidentally switched back to his human self, by the way. Anyway, hang on. I'm gonna pull up some music. Hang on. So you guys can remember that. There we go. Got some Planet Whispering some music. Planet Wisp music. Anyway, so yeah. I do like the title cards, by the way. So anyways, Danny, and then once Danny starts getting his powers in high school, by the way, he goes ghost, by the way. He goes the lunch lady right there, and then she transforms into this meat thing, by the way. And then Danny just takes Santa Tucker to the wall and tangible, and then Danny reverts back to normal after he got tired, and then like at the very end, by the way, Danny basically Dash Baxter, by the way, he basically put the meat on Dash Baxter in the end. He said, "Whatever you say, Dash. Whatever you say." That was actually kind of funny at the end. Anyways, when I rate this episode, I rated a good episode, by the way. Since it is the first part of the episode. Alright, number 2, parental bonding. Parental bonding is when Paulina gets introduced, by the way, in the episode, by the way. And I do have the episode pulled up, by the way, a little bit. Anyways, yeah. Anyways, this features Paulina, by the way, and it features a dragon, by the way, as you can see right there on the title card. Ancestral dragon vision, by the way. This was originally supposed to be the third episode for Danny Phantom, but it is the second one, by the way. So, like, at the beginning of the episode, Danny, figures out that there's a dragon ghost, by the way. That's a girl ghost, by the way, that had the amulet, by the way. And that amulet turned whatever girl has that amulet into a dragon ghost right here, as you see. What was pretty funny, hang on. Let me just pull this up right here, hang on. What was pretty funny that Danny did, by the way, he actually got to overshadow a few people. Just give me a minute, I'm trying to pull it up right now. I'm sorry, guys. Anyways, let me just put it on full screen. What was pretty funny that he actually got to hang on. He actually got to overshadow Dash Baxter, by the way. And speaking of which he actually got to overshadow, he did ask Paulina to the dance, by the way, and he said Mr. Lancer wants to have a word with us to his dad, Jack Fenton. Anyways, he overshadows him, and yeah. And he talks to Mr. Lancer about the pants incident. And then it's pretty cool that Sam actually had a character development in here, by the way. You met Wildcraft, by the way. Leased it. Did you see Wildcraft leased it today? 11. Yeah, I am gonna watch the video tomorrow. Also, by the way, in this scene right here, Danny goes ghost, by the way, and then fights the dragon again, by the way. Which is pretty cool, by the way. I'm not gonna lie, Danny Phantom is my favorite show out of all of them. Anyway, skipping on. Sorry about that. Anyways, and then Danny decides to overshadow Tucker and convince Sam to go to the dance with him, by the way. Which is actually pretty funny, by the way. And, yeah. And then, like, basically, one of these parts, hang on. And then, like, during a battle, by the way, Danny Phantom fights the same dragon, but it's Sam, by the way. And by the way, and one of these parts, by the way, hang on. What's pretty funny that Danny overshadows Jack Benton again. Hang on. Which is pretty funny, by the way. And he dances with Maddie, by the way. Which is actually pretty funny, by the way. Not gonna lie. And I do love this episode so much. So, you know what? I'm gonna rate it a pretty good episode, by the way. Alright, episode number 3. One of a kind. This one features the Box Ghost in his first appearance, by the way. And then after he gets freed, and then Skulker appears, by the way. As you see on the title card. Shocking. Anyways, let me pull up a clip here. Hey, God. So yeah, this one features Skulker in Tucker's PDA. By the way, it actually features the Box Ghost, by the way. And so yeah, first appearance, he gets sucked into the thermos, and then after Tucker doesn't handle the thermos, he gets released as well. And then give me a second. And then when Sam and Danny are at the library with Tucker, by the way, Sam searched up a magnificent creature, a purple-back gorilla, by the way. Which, there was only a few left, and then Skulker comes in and then just, gets, Mikey tied up into like a spider web thing, and then, as you see in this part, what's pretty funny, this is actually one of my favorite fights out of season 1, with Samson, the purple-back gorilla, fighting Skulker, which is actually pretty funny, by the way. Not gonna lie, as you see here, it's actually pretty funny that then he gets blindfolded, and then Skulker just tries to get a net, and then the gorilla just he just grabs him and then just yeets him into the glass building, and then Danny Phantom's ghost sense goes off after him and Tucker are kind of sleeping together. And then Danny takes the gorilla back to the cage, by the way, after Skulker disappears. And then Skulker's about to take Danny into the ghost zone, but Sam Manson stops Skulker from it, by the way. And what's pretty weird about this episode, by the way, just give it a minute, by the way. What's pretty weird about this episode, which I sort of spotted an Easter egg a little bit, that Danny's eyes are blue in that, if you saw there. But anyways, guys, a reaction video coming out tomorrow, so I'm excited for that on October 8th, by the way. What's pretty funny when Skulker's against the PDA in his battle suit is he basically gets notifications to fly to the library and get a book of eating habits of purple-back gorilla. It's pretty funny that he gets the purple-back gorilla messages, by the way. Anyways, moving on. He gets another one when he gets into the high school, and then he goes to the newsstand and purchases a magazine article about purple-back gorillas. That's actually pretty funny, not gonna lie. And then he then right outside the thing, he gets a notification that says take photos of gorilla. And then here's my favorite one when it's like the gorilla display at the Museum of Natural History. And then he just hang on, you're about to see this, by the way. That face though when he just leaves though. Hang on, let me pause it if I can. Hang on. That face though when he leaves though. Hang on. That face though once he leaves, by the way. And then he gets time for push-ups, which is pretty funny. And then he gets sucked into the sermons after Samson beats him up, by the way. So anyways, guys, and then Danny Phantom beats the Box Ghost at the end, by the way. So anyways, guys, I think I'm gonna give this episode an alright, at least, by the way. The Box Ghost was okay, though. Just to let you know. Alright, number 4. Attack of the Killer Garage Sale. So anyways, let me pull that up, by the way. Give me a second, let me just... Anyway, so at the beginning, Danny Phantom is with his dad, by the way. Dash is with Jazz, by the way, getting trained, but Dash just needs to be focused, by the way, since he's in love with Jazz, Danny's sister. And then Danny comes in, and then his ghost powers I think we got used, and then his arm just goes through the wall. And then Danny goes into the lab and then sees Jack with the Fenton vacuum thing, whatever you call it, by the way. And then he tries to put it on reverse, but now he didn't get to go get the thing. And then Danny just puts it on reverse since he's kind of a genius at it. And then there's a ghost that appears that's pretty smart, and his name is Technus, by the way. That looks like Technus 1.0, I think you see. And then Danny goes ghosting and battles him, and then Technus has some sort of weapon, I could say, by the way. He has some sort of weapon, and then he zaps him, by the way, with it, by the way. And then Danny just uses the vacuum on him and sucks him in, by the way. And then he realized the thing was getting full, and then everything just exploded with ectoplasm, whatever it looks like, by the way, whatever it looks like. And then by the way, and then Danny's like at the Nasty Burger, by the way, and he's like, I wanted to get he wanted to get invited to a party, and then he did because his sister made him invite him, and because Dash Baxter invited everyone else, by the way. And then a few seconds later, by the way, Danny was so popular a little bit, and then basically he was happy when he got to go to the party, and then he just put Sam and Tucker at first, by the way. And then Danny and Jack just takes his stuff to the garage, and then Danny decides to sell all of his junk, by the way. Which yeah. And then Tucker comes over to watch movies with Sam, and then Sam orders some pizza, by the way. And then basically during a little while, when Danny got his outfit, he senses something with his ghost sense, by the way, as you can see. And then there's like a hair dryer, or whatever you call it. I'm trying to remember. Whatever it's called, like a shaving thing, whatever it's called, and then it turns into like some sort of knife. And then Danny goes ghost and then battles it, and he trying to figure out what caused it, by the way. And then the thing turns into scissors, and then Danny just magically yeets it after he battles. And then yeets it across, and then gets his outfit just in time before it gets run over, by the way. And then Danny's at the party, by the way, and then all the stuff gets taken away because of Technus, by the way. And then Danny gets like yeeted by Technus, by the way, in like some sort of battle suit, and then Technus tries to get the upgrade, and then he just puts Danny in some sort of washer thing, and then Technus tries to get the upgrade thing, and then when Danny knocks him out like that, the upgrade thing goes inside him, by the way, which I almost like so shocked at what was gonna happen, and yeah, the face though, man. And then Dad's like, Fenton, you're a dead man. And then Sam and Tucker were mad at Danny, and then Danny was sorry for what he did. By the way, then Danny gets knocked out to the ground. By the way, and then finally Sam and Tucker help him, and then Tucker gets a new PDA upgrade, and then Sam just plugs that thing in. By the way. And then Technus gets hacked by Tucker. And then Technus gets hacked, and then Technus just gets sucked into the thermos after he's defeated. By the way, and then Dash gets teddy bear stuffed in his locker. By the way, which added pretty funny. By the way. Anyways, I'm gonna rate that episode a good episode because I actually enjoyed that episode so far. Alright, from one of my most favorites from season 1 so far is Splitting Images. Splitting Images features Poindexter. As soon as it features the Box Ghost again, plus it also features Sidney Poindexter, by the way. And then Danny tells Sam and Tucker to go to the thing, and then Danny would try and get the Box Ghost sealed up, and then Box Ghost just punches him, by the way, and then Danny reverts back to human, and then Box Ghost just makes him be like a girl, kind of, by the way. And you see right here, and then Danny gets embarrassed and mad. And then Danny gets signed in New Locker 724, and then basically Poindexter keeps like making everyone just be bullied that bully Danny, and then Danny, one of these parts, by the way, Danny goes invisible and then puts frogs in Dash Baxter's pants, which is actually kind of funny, by the way. And then Poindexter appears and then believes Danny's a bully, and Poindexter's not that bad because he actually understands people, by the way, just so you guys know. And then Danny just takes him down after he gets inked a little bit, and then Danny reverts back to human, and then Sidney Poindexter takes over his body, by the way, and sends him into a support spirit world, whatever you pronounce it, by the way. The question of the day is, have you guys watched Danny Phantom? Just let me know in the comments, by the way. And then Danny sees himself in the mirror, and then he's Sidney Poindexter, and then Sidney Poindexter is taking over Danny's body, and then almost gets caught by his parents, by the way. And then Danny Phantom gets bullied in the high school, by the way, in the other spirit world. Because that's how Sidney Poindexter was bullied, by the way. And then, once Tucker gets the ghost gloves, by the way, Dan takes him to the locker, by the way, to Sidney Poindexter. And then Tucker just grabs him and then just puts him in the mirror, by the way, as you can see right here. And then Danny's like, you had your fun. Now I want my body and my life back. And then Sidney Poindexter did by whoop to him. Then they both started fighting, and then Sidney Poindexter just doesn't even know how to use Danny's powers, and Danny knows how to use the powers more than he does. And then finally, Sidney Poindexter goes back inside Danny, and then Danny finally comes back as his ghost, has his normal self, and then Sidney Poindexter's just himself again. And then Danny breaks the mirror, by the way, and yeah, and then he gets to the Alibi Missile Lantern, and then he gets signed a New Locker now, by the band room, by the way. And then the Box Ghost says that he's the mechanical frog ghost, but he's actually the Box Ghost. And yeah, and when I'm gonna rate this episode with Sidney Poindexter, I'm gonna rate it a good episode. Alright, I'm gonna probably do 10 more. I'll do a couple more, and then yeah, that's it. I'm already almost done with this. Anyways, episode 6. What you want? Essential Dreamorama. I forgot to read the things from Technology and Terror Collide from Attack of the Killer Garage, It came from Locker 724 from Splitting Images. And then What You Want, which features a different ghost, by the way. Give me a second, I'm gonna pull that up. It's Sessional Dreamorama. Anyways, if I can find the episode, then yeah. Alright. Alright, I got the episode pulled up. So anyways, this episode features Tucker, by the way, at the beginning a little bit with Danny. And then a little girl, like, wants some cotton candy, but her mom says she had enough sweets today. And then that thing just breaks the bottle with the balloon, and then Desiree appears, by the way, the wishing ghost. By the way, then Danny goes ghost to see who she is, and then Danny learns a new ghost power, which I forgot what the power is, by the way. And then gives Tucker a high five, and then Tucker just lands in the cotton candy, and then Sam is like really sick, by the way. Sam is like very sick, by the way, and yeah, and then she leaves, by the way. And Danny just gets his ghost sense, by the way. And then he realized that a ghost is taking over Dash Baxter, by the way. And then Danny sucks the ghost out of him, by the way, after he takes him out. And then everyone beats up Tucker because they think he's a piñata. And then I don't think that's funny. And then Danny just sends the ghost back to the ghost zone. And then there's the Fenton ghost catcher, by the way. Which then Danny's ghost half comes out and then goes right back into it, by the way. And then Danny's parents are also sick too. And then when whatever those girls are, Ashley and someone else, when they wanted to see the Pussycat movie, whatever you call it, then Paulina just gets turned into some sort of cat thing that looks like her a little bit. And then Danny goes ghost, and then turns her back to normal, by the way, after, yeah. And then Tucker wishes for ghost powers, and Desiree just, poof, just made him have ghost powers, by the way. And then Danny zaps Paulina out of the cat form, and then the green cat gets sucked into the thermos, and then Paulina turns back to normal, by the way. Which, that's actually, I actually like that part a little bit, when Danny's like, bye-bye kitty or something, I don't know. And then Tucker just has fun with his ghost powers, which this is actually pretty funny, by the way. And then Jeff Gordon, which his vehicle could just fly over them, and then his vehicle just flies, and then Danny's ghost sense goes off because of Desiree, by the way. He has like flying car, and then he goes ghost, and then goes check to see what's going on, by the way. And then Tucker's on the job, and then Danny's like so confused, and then Danny's like, Tucker Phantom, and question mark. Oh, sorry for that. And Tucker and Danny were messing up the vehicle, and then they were almost about to crash into the building, and then Danny just went intangible just to save the day, by the way. And then they crashed into a barn house, by the way, in which there was a chicken on someone's head, by the way, which is pretty funny. And then Tucker and Danny get into a fight, and then Sam's still sick, and Tucker decides to prank a dog, by the way. And then it's pranks with the Lancer, which is pretty funny, by the way. And that's pretty funny, and then Danny starts catching Sam's coat, and then goes inside Tucker, and then Tucker gets Danny up. Oh, remember? And then Danny crashes into the thing, and then Tucker just goes invisible, and then everyone gets scared and then he just pours the thing in the whatever you call it. Oh, and then he overshadows Paulina, and then Danny overshadows Paulina, and they have a fight over a girl, and then yeah. Then Danny asks who Desiree is, and that Desiree also had a tragic backstory too, just like Sidney Poindexter, by the way, which she died from a broken heart, by the way, and she wishes everyone's great desire, by the way. And Danny sort of like, and then I just realized that Danny had white hair in this, by the way. And then his eyes just turned green when he had blue eyes. And then Desiree appears, and then Danny stops her, by the way. And then Danny was almost about to get defeated, but then Danny sucks her inside the thermos, by the way, and then Desiree's defeated, but Tucker still has the powers, and then Danny stops Tucker fully, by the way. And then he turns into some sort of green monster king, by the way. And then, he's like, catch me if you can, Sucker Phantom. And then, Tucker was so pleased when he got into the girls' locker room, by the way. And then Danny starts to put a girl's bra on him, and then makes him have a slam dunk. And then Tucker turns big, by the way, and then he hits Ghost and goes off, and then Danny's like, what the matter? Can't catch me and you can't see? But that's actually pretty funny. And then he tries to throw him into the ghost zone, and then Danny just reverts him back to normal, by the way. And then Tucker, the monster Tucker, gets sucked into the thermos, and then Danny Tucker gets sick at the end, by the way. And Sam's just feeling better, by the way. Anyways, I'm gonna rate that episode a pretty good episode, because that was actually a pretty good episode, because it actually featured Desiree, by the way. Alright, episode 7, boys and girls. Bitter Reunions, a blast from the past. This is actually one of my favorite episodes because it featured Vlad Plasmius, by the way. At the beginning, Danny starts going home, and then he's chased down by a couple of birds that Vlad had. Oh, remember that? And then he chases after them, and then they get into a fight, and then they ask about Danny's dad, and then Danny gets the paper, by the way, after he fights them. And then Danny gets in trouble, by the way, after the fight, by the way. And then the Fenton, the family, goes on the way to Wisconsin, by the way. And then a past story as well, by the way, when they were college buddies in college, by the way, a couple years ago. They had a ghost portal right here, as you see, and then Vlad got ectoagny. He was diagnosed with ectoagny. That's how he got his ghost. That's how. And he was like, upset, and then they finally arrive at Wisconsin, and Vlad's happy to see him, by the way. Then he lets Danny, Jazz, and Maddie in, and then Jack wanted to come in, but then the door just slams on him, by the way. And then Danny, I don't know, like, then Vlad has all these things, like, by the way, and then Jack just comes in and gets the football, by the way, which, yeah. And then Vlad's kind of being mean a little bit, he's kind of being selfish, by the way. But then they all spend the night there, and then Danny goes off, and he knows what's going on, and then Vlad sends the ghost seeking out Jack, and then trying to kidnap him, and then Danny finally just takes Jack to the bathroom by grabbing his feet and then going tangible. And then Danny tries to fight the bird, and then finally we can get the reveal of Vlad Plasmius, by the way, which actually beats up Danny Phantom, by the way, because Danny did not want to fight him, and then he split himself into 4 clones, by the way, just to take him out easily, by the way. And then he takes him out easily, and then he's like scarred, and then Danny wakes up, and then it's like that's a dream, and then Vlad's like, yeah, sleep tight. And laughs commentary or something, I don't know. And then a couple minutes later, by the way, as soon as I get to the part, Danny battles some ghosts, by the way. That the first ghost he fought, by the way. Also, he battled one of his earliest enemies, Skulker, by the way. Then Skulker had the thing called Spectral Energy Neutralizer that reverted Danny back to his human self, by the way. And he was about to kill Danny, and then he was stopped by Vlad, by the way. And what was pretty funny about this scene, by the way, Skulker had to go to the library and check a book on a gorilla again, which is actually pretty funny, by the way. And then Vlad finally revealed his secret identity, the Danny Phantom, and he's like, I'm going ghost. And then Danny calls Vlad a Fruit Loop, which is actually pretty funny, by the way. And then a couple seconds later, Vlad overshadows Jack, by the way. And then Maddie takes, I forgot who that girl is, by the way. And then the Ghost King comes in and saves Danny Phantom. And then the Ghost King goes away, and then Danny Phantom goes to battle out Vlad. And then, Jazz is like, They won't probably invite us. They won't invite us anymore. And then Danny finally calls Vlad a cheesehead, which he actually took Vlad out of Jack Fenton, by the way. And then Jack Fenton takes out Maddie, by the way. No, we're not take her out, like get her out of the vehicle. And then Danny goes inside the vehicle and try to save Maddie, by the way. And then he overshadows Jack Fenton to save Maddie, by the way. Then Vlad Plasmius lost the fight, and then where the girl got fired, by the way. And then yeah, I'm gonna rate that episode a pretty good episode because that was one of my most number one favorites, by the way. All right. I'm probably wasting a little bit of time here, by the way, but that's alright. Anyways, I think that's gonna be all for today. So if you guys want to see part 2, just let me know because I'm probably gonna get ready for school, by the way. Because I have a school night, by the way. Anyways, guys, thank you all so much for watching this video. Hit like for part 2. Episode 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Episode 8 through 20 will be ranked soon, by the way. And I'll see you all in the next video. Till next time, everybody. Take care.